Hi, my name is Michiel Hohen. I'm the operations manager at DAE Studios, and here is a presentation on the 2 games a month incubator, which will be starting February 2021. A brief introduction of DAE Studios. We are an official spin-off company initiated by the educational program of Digital Arts and Entertainment in Kortrijk. And we support the local game tech industry. So we have a couple of partners on board. We have Larian Studios, we have Kronos Interactive and West, and they are scouting opportunities to invest in young talent through DAE Studios. How do we do this? How do we support the game industry? We offer two programs. So the accelerator program on the right is something we already actively are doing. So we have a couple of startup companies of alumni that we are actively supporting. We are offering them work for hire projects for their direct income. We are offering them seating in the Hangar K in Kortrijk. We take them to events, we teach them how to pitch, and so on. On the left side, we have the incubator, and that's something that will be starting in February, the 2 games a month incubator, where people will be able to familiarize with commercial setting and experiment, really, without any strings attached. So that's for students and alumni. So why do we offer these two programs? Because we believe in the importance of a cross-pollinating ecosystem with game creators, startup companies, an extraordinary educational program and research facility. By having this ecosystem, we can keep every party relevant. On the long term, we're aiming for international attraction. So we want other software developers, AAA game studios, for example, to be interested in what's happening in our ecosystem so they can set up a branch here in Flanders. That's why we had the idea of offering a platform where all of the students and alumni can actually experiment with the idea of maybe writing their own or making their own games. Because I can see in the startup scene that there are a lot of challenges for a beginning startup. There's that thing called project and team management in a commercial setting. So there's a lot of students who have worked on cool games in the educational program, but you are making games for points, for your scores, right? At one moment of time, you want to maybe start developing games in order to earn something, but that's a whole different ball game. That's a whole other perspective on developing games. Also, what I see that community is very important. You need people behind you who are believing in the games you are making. And you also need to develop your games with your end users in mind. Don't make a game because you like to play that game. It's very crucial to run through a couple of full game production cycles without losing too much time. Finding the right funding to actually be able to develop your game is very important, and creating the right business model. So what are the pitfalls for startups? Is that they're making their first project their dream projects. With emphasis on their, because they think it's cool, and they are actually trying to overcome all the obstacles, the first technical hurdles on their dream projects, which is a pity. Ideally, you want to know how to make games and publish them before you work on your dream project. That has as a consequence that it's taking way too long before they release their first game. They underestimate the go-to-market strategy and the community. And these pitfalls could actually cause a project to fail and maybe, in worst case, leave a financial hangover for the startup. The idea of the incubator is actually inspired by a Dutch game developer who says that your game design experience isn't in the size of or the scope of your games, it's in the number of projects you've been through. And when you've had a couple of game production cycles and you have a backlog of prototypes that you already made, then you can go to the next milestone, actually identifying a game with market potential. So what is it? What is the 2 games a month incubator? It's a 24-week indie game development program that could start as an internship for third years students, and it's also open for alumni. So we will go through 8 game development sprints, all while getting guided by experts. If I had to caption what the incubator is all about, it's about creating game developers who have a great understanding of how to identify, develop, and validate games with market potential. Who can apply? We're not only looking for what we would call in digital arts and entertainment IGP profiles. No, we are looking for everyone. Is it a 2D or 3D artist? Is it developers? Is it animators and so on? Who are actually interested in the indie game development scene. So if you are looking for a internship, for example, in a AAA game studio, that's fine. But this is for people who are interested in the indie scene. We are also looking for future entrepreneurs, so those are more of the IGP profiles. We are looking for alumni who want to start their own company, and also looking for support in communication and business. What is the goal of the program? Again, quite literally, we are going to develop one game each 2 weeks, where we're going from brainstorm to prototyping to validation, with the right experts at every phase of development. You'll get experienced in game prototyping, which is a crucial skill for starters, and you will be able to explore different platforms and genres. Failing forward is very important. We know that some projects will probably fail, but that's okay. We need to learn from that, and we will communicate it to each other as well. You will also get experience in working with different people. So maybe you find a perfect team to work with. It's not only development that we're doing. We also are going to offer weekly expert sessions. These could be very thematic. Like, for example, we'll have a session on pricing models for mobile or PC games. We'll talk about publisher deals. We'll think about building communities, or even have someone talk to you who's been in the game industry for more than 10 years and can talk to you about what it's like having an own company. So we have a lot of partners on board for that. No startup, no problem. So if you follow this incubator program, we do not expect you to start a company. We're not going to give you a contract, but we at DAE Studios, we will support everyone who thinks about setting up a startup company. So people who run through this program are really getting interested in starting their own company. We will help them in any way we can. So worst case for the individual who says, okay, these 24 weeks were very cool to make my own games, but now I'm looking for a job. That's perfectly fine. But you have a very interesting profile for a game company because you've run through that game production cycle for at least 8 times already. So this is the team behind the incubator program. These are people who have experience in having a game studio. We have Jill Vampares, for example, who is experienced in the brainstorm and ideation phase of game development. We have Stefan Collins, who is more of an expert on the production side of things. I, myself, will be doing the communication and the incubation follow-up. And then we have Seppe, who will do more of a deep dive into how we efficiently can make the games. Here we can see an overview of the timeline of the 24-week program. There are a couple of things to mention here. The blue sprints are developments based on your own ideas. The orange sprints are client works. So these are external cases we work with. It could be very useful for you to know how those kind of projects work. And then the third thing to mention is that we can see at 19 weeks there is some kind of jury moment. So this is a moment in which you will present the projects you're most proud of. And if you have the intention to actually keep on working with this on this project, that we will decide with the jury how we can support you. Maybe we can help you in writing an application. Maybe we can already find some kind of investments, so you guys have an incentive to keep on working with that. That could be anything. If you look at a breakdown, so of one sprint, you can see that we have a fixed program for every sprint. We go through ideation and game design. We make a storyboard of the game, and then we go to the game prototyping, combined with user testing, of course. And at the end, we do final user testing and we validate the prototype. If there's something publishable, we will publish it. But then the Monday after that, we start with a new game. There's also in green, you can see a feedback moment. So where we assess every previous sprint and communicate to each other what went wrong, what went right, and so on. Also in green is the expert session, which I already mentioned. Are you interested in this program? So are you an alumni or a student? You can register on the website daestudios.be. Just send me an email. You'll probably have a lot more questions. We can have a one-to-one chat. And there will be a screening moment of all participants, and we are now aiming to allow 12 of them. Also, a side note, this program is not only open for DAE students, it's also open for any game development program in Belgium. There is a roadmap for this program, so in 2022 we want to run through this program twice a year, and we also want to attract international students. Thanks for your attention. If you have any questions, just send me an email.